to give it to y'all anyway, just to do it right and proper. What we got? The entrepreneurial inspiration, capital God, generator, organizer, designer of Got Your Back LLC, mix and master extraordinaire, Taco Underworld rep, and King of B of the Hive, Mr. Callon B.
Yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? That was a hella intro.
That was a great. I'm kind of jealous. I need that energy every time I wake up.
Hey, yo.
I gotta do y'all right.
No, it's an honor to be here. I appreciate you, my guy. You assembled the fucking Justice League.
Sir, the honor is mine.
So
next up we got, y'all might know him as a rapper. Y'all might know him as a reactor. You might know him as the hypest of the hype men. A naturally gifted storyteller, but mostly you know him for getting professorial on that ass on the weekly, daily, hourly, whatever the situation demands. A Sakamoto style scholar of NerdCore, Professor Kuro. Thank you.
Hey, my man's.
Thank you. You saw something that crazy. I'm flattered right now. I might be blushing a little bit. Haz, don't snitch on me.
Sir, nobody do it like you. But I appreciate the compliment. I'll take that. Who we got next? The master of synthesizing the pen, the sound and the spirit of a track to not just entertain you, though he do that well, also to motivate and inspire some in you. If NerdCore has a hopeful soul, it's him. But if you mistake his meekness for weakness, you made a critical error. Mr. Dizzyeight, thank you for blessing us by being here.
Hey,
that's hard, bro. You can like put that on the song, bro. Like that shit, like the intro of my album, bro.
Yeah, no, we each need album intros.
I'll lay it down if I can find time.
Yo, but hey, I appreciate it, man. It's dope to be here, man. Dope to be amongst peers and just talking about, you know, what we love doing. You feel me?
Exactly. I was when you told me you wanted to be in here, super honored because I don't think you even knew who I was before that, for real.
No, but listen, I be seeing your tweets, bro. You always tweet. Every week I drop something. You always tweet a line. I'm like, I like this. I like this page. We need more like this, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Holding it down.
All right. Next up, hailing from Shiny World as the superior species known as manga reader, who's never slept, broward bread, but son to none, father to many, the king of the pirates, who knows for a fact that the One Piece is real, and he's sailing to each and every one of y'all mama's house till he finds it. Pete.
Yo. Hey, man. Fucking nice to be here. I definitely squeezed in last second. But I was like, fuck it.
Facts.
Had to pull up. Be like that.
But now I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with the homies. And we gonna chop it up about that real shit. A little behind the scenes type shit.
Yes, sir. And finally, Gameboy Jones is also here. Now, Nah, seriously though. You know, even though we're gonna be talking about the way, you know, things have evolved, you know, in every form of media, there are certain core elements that stay the same. And in NerdCore, like embracing who you are and what you love and having fun with it, that's what it is. And no one does that like more genuinely and with more style than Mr. Gameboy Jones. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, fam.
What's up?
Hello?
I missed that. My bad.
That guy? I said, thanks for having me, fam.
It was like a flip of the coin. All right.
Bruh.
Well, let's get into it now that we got the overviews and the intros out the way. Let's get into the meat of it. So
the meat.
Oh,
sorry.
Listen, there was nothing in the rules about no meat, bro. What are you talking about, bro?
No,
that's true.
I'm keeping
that
it
is
calm
true.
there, but I wanted to screen that us.
Key and Delta. Hey, yo.
So we're gonna talk about where we are now, but I'm a firm believer if you really want to know about where you are, you got to look back at where you came from. So I wanted to ask each of y'all and whoever want to just jump in first. Tell me about the the foundations, like your first impressions of like the sound of what nerdcore was when you first were introduced to it, or even like retroactively and retrospective, once you've been in it for a minute, you look back at what it was. What was your impressions of it? What was the sound, the feel, the vibe of it at that time? Whoever want to jump in.
I feel like I'll jump in first because I think I might be the person who knew about nerdcore first. Specifically because I heard of nerdcore when I was like, shit, man. I was probably like in high school. I know that I was in high school when I heard of nerdcore, and then someone showed me like 3 songs, and I was like, wow, this is ass. Like this is bad. This is very, very, very bad. And then I never thought of it ever again until someone told me. They're like, hey man, you doing nerdcore music, which is like almost a decade later. They're like, hey, like that's the tech, that's the like grouping of stuff that you're in. I was like, okay, cool. And because I remember thinking I heard certain raps even on like YouTube, because like whenever they showed me nerdcore in high school, it was some of like the old guys who've been doing this for like a long time. But then I seen other people on YouTube doing other songs, and I was like, oh, I think that I could do this, but slightly better, or differently. And that's kind of just how I kind of got into it. And then
you were
obviously
still definitely finding its legs at that time.
Yeah, I was like, because I've always told people I was never gonna do music, and here I am doing music. But yeah, no, it's obviously changed a lot since then.
Right. Anybody else? First impressions?
Yeah.
I'll go ahead, Callon.
I was gonna say, I kind of like dabbled in just throwing like a Dragon Ball Z line in there every now and then, like maybe one anime line per song. But until like Otaku God showed me like Richie Branson, and he actually showed me Peso Pete like years ago before I even knew what nerdcore was, and I just heard little things like that, and it made me feel a little more like comfortable with putting more of it in my music. But then it wasn't until like Slick started showing me like Gameboy Jones and shit that I realized like there's actually a fucking community for this shit, not just like a couple straggling artists. You know what I mean? So it was cool. It was just like a place where you could just do what the fuck you wanted and not have to really worry about it, and people were gonna support it and do the same shit.
So I wanted to ask you, Callon, since you came up specifically you, because I know everybody on here do to an extent, but I know you really be in your mixing and mastering bag, and are really focusing in on sound. You had any impressions about like the overall general like sound, like the sonics of nerdcore at that time?
There's a lot that needs improvement, but just honestly, but I also know that
like
a lot
very
of this is
generic.
coming from, yeah, well, not even, it's very hyper generic. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, not even that. Not even that. I just like, I know a lot of people are doing this like from their room, everything themselves. It's like their first introduction to producing or making any type of music, and nerdcore is like their first experiment in creating for themselves. So it's like I understand there's a lot of that going on, but I feel like when you get to a certain point with it though, you need to kind of like elevate that sound and that quality that you have, especially if you're bringing in a certain kind of view. So there's improvements like that could go on, but not everybody has a budget, and people got to start somewhere. Like a shitty engineer now in 2 years may be one of the fucking hottest if he sticks with it. So it's like I ain't gonna down nobody, but there's definitely some improvements that could be made quality wise.
So you heard kind of like that popper, that kind of that grinding, like still really working on it. That like you said, kind of like poor man style, because you just ain't got the funds at the time to dedicate it at that time, and you can feel that in the sound a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. But when you get to a certain level, like you're not gonna listen to a Peso P song or a Gameboy Jones song that has a shitty mix. Like, they probably have had one at some point in their career, but they hit a certain level at a time where they were like, okay, no more shitty mixes. Like it's only up from here. Like
Oh,
So it's all a matter of just everyone reaching that point in their career was like, okay, like the quality has to upgrade now.
Bet. Anybody else want to jump in? First impressions, retrospectives.
I will say, for me, my first impression of nerdcore was like when I was in high school. I didn't know it was nerdcore at the time, but like the first person I heard that did like nerdy stuff was Shizzy. When I was in high school, my boy had I think it was the Dragon Ball Z John. And my boys had sent it to me. I was like, yo, Ed, this is hard. I said, this is fire. People do this. I like this. But I like it was never like I didn't delve into it until like maybe I'll say for all my gamers, bro, like when did Destiny 2 come out?
Was that 19?
Might have been 2019.
Yeah. Before 20, yeah, it was like 18, 19.
Yeah, so like when Destiny 2 came out, I never figured this is so stupid how I met people that do this, but like I played Destiny 2 and like I was a competitive player. As much as you can be in Destiny at that time, or in Destiny 1. But there was an emblem that you get for movie of the week. So like basically you would do a clip or you make a piece of content based on the game and you'd upload it to their forums, and then whatever trends for the week, they'll do a big post on it on the Bungie website, and then they'll give you an in-game emblem. So I wanted the emblem because I didn't like playing the game but not having stuff. Like that's just, I'm not that type of person. Like for me, if there's something that I ain't got, I'm a grind for it. So like, I didn't know what I can do. So I was like, what am I good at, bro? I'm nice at rapping, you feel me? Like it's like at this time I'm still like doing music, but it's not nerdcore, it's just regular music. And well, I mean nerdcore is regular music, but I was just doing like hip hop. So I made a song for Destiny 2, and it was trending on their website. I ended up getting posted on the Bungie forum, and through that, I found out about DPS because DPS was doing Destiny stuff at the time. DPS, I found out about Fable, and I think Dan Bull followed me. I'm like, bro, who are these guys? And I went to go look up their stuff. I'm like, oh, they do like stuff on video games and stuff like that. At the time, during that time, anime wasn't that big. It was more so video games. But I'm like, oh, that's dope. This is an actual genre of music. I think at the time, I think DPS had maybe like 12,000 subscribers, and I think Fable had maybe like 20. I'm like, this is dope. And again, I didn't delve into it because it was just like I didn't want to be labeled nerdcore because there's a stigma that came with it. So I didn't want to be labeled that. I think my final like for me when I was like, okay, these guys are doing great things is when Gameboy hit me up and put me on his Mortal Kombat John, and then it exposed me to even more people. I'm like, yo, these guys are really dope. I want to work with these guys, and it's been uphill from that moment.
And up and up and up. That's interesting. So as like Callon and Gameboy, that was like, the Vector's cool, but for you it seems like it was like a super positive from the jump.
Yeah, because I came in seeing Gameboy and Fable, and like the people that like definitely Gameboy came in earlier than I did, so he saw like the previous generation. I saw the beginning of this generation of nerdcore. So for me, I'm like, okay, these guys are pretty dope because like they were like it wasn't. I don't think that anybody started off trash. It just may not have been industry standard and nothing like that, but everybody had a level of talent that was dope. So I didn't get to see the terribleness.
Yeah, like that's why I thought that it was a really good thing that everyone gives their own perspective, because I knew everyone was going to see it at a completely different starting point.
Yeah,
exactly, and that's why we expand the panel and try to get as many point of view as possible. All right, Kuro, Pete, anyone of y'all want to jump in? First impressions.
I know Kuro got something to say.
No,
What?
Me talk? There's no way. No, it was actually interesting because I actually knew about nerdcore earlier than I thought I did, and then when I fully saw like the nerdcore as we know it today, was a couple years back, and it was the one time I swear to God I've had a YouTube account since the fucking dawn, and it was the one time YouTube actually recommended a video I gave a damn about. And I forgot what it was, but it was like an early like Dragon Ball Z rap or one of the like first ciphers. And I'm just like in the car with my brother. I'm like, huh? Anime rap? I hit it and I'm like, why did I not find this sooner in life? I am the biggest nerd and I love hip hop. How did the universe not put this in front of me sooner? And then I just became an artificial intelligence and joined the community and hacked out systems. And now you can't get rid of me.
The Kuro AI is live and in
I want
effect.
y'all to know, Kuro did a whole like physical performance with that as well in the car.
I'm not
He
surprised.
rehearsed it to you first.
I was demoing it when I'm mute.
I believe
No, just a side note, like this is how I knew it was real. When one day, like my homie's son, who's like 10, came in the living room one day and like showed me a music video for like Dan Bull, and like didn't know that I already knew who that was. I was like, damn, these little kids is watching this shit.
Yeah, it's moving on for sure. Peso, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go last because one, I'm like, I guess you'd say I'm like the newest to.
Either that or me.
Word.
1 second.
I'm the newest and just ended.
That was how quick.
What the
That's
hell
how
is
quick
that
he's been.
cliffhanger? Of course.
I'm only been here for the last minute of the clock. Don't look at me.
I'm daddy.
Well, as we wait on the next time in Dragon Ball Z.
All right, cool. So anyway, next question.
I'll let Peso go handle what he got to handle. He can speak on it if he wants when he comes back. But now we're gonna get into when things started to change, when things started to evolve. I want to talk about the turning points in the scene that kind of started getting us transforming to where we are now. So if y'all can think of like just any pivotal moments that stand out to you that signified like the evolutionary growth in the scene, you know, the changes in sound and style, any events that went down, any like just influential groups or just individuals who popped up,
So
like landmark tracks, anything like that. What do you think it was? Some of these things. What are some of these things that were like the catalyst, really sparked the evolution and just let it snowball as it has?
So to be honest, all right, see, so it's so funny because like there's like a big like yes and no on a certain spot because like obviously like a lot of people were like, oh, there's like a lot of switch ups whenever, you know, like the loop guys and stuff, you know, like came in on the scene and stuff like that and yada yada, which like is very true. It's great. I love that, you know, like we had them and Otaku Underworld stuff come in, and you know we could kind of, you know, get like a brand new like sound in the scene. But like coming from the very early beginnings of this YouTube community, anytime we would make I guess like, you know, we would just try, you know, like making how our music sounds now, you know, just like, you know, songs and stuff. We always noticed a big dip in like viewership, like every single time. And so we just said, all right, cool, fuck it. We're just gonna go where the money is. And it's funny, right around the time we were starting to get Otaku Underworld and Loop, we we're back here talking in the background, and we kind of make this collective decision of, hey, so do you all just want to drop the veil of having to do like the very on the nose type like raps about characters and stuff like that, and just say, because like at that point we all were kind of like self-sustaining, like, you know, we kind of, you know, at that point you know, anyone could have quit their job and kind of still lived off it. and stuff, and it was like, you know what, might as well take the hard right turn on just like, all right, we're just gonna be moving as musicians and not YouTubers anymore. And I think doing that while also introducing all of the sounds of all of the newer people coming into the scene just made like this giant, like, huge pivot, because also we had like an influx of fans, and we actually created a community, because whenever I started it was like 15 of us, like artist wise total, and now there's hundreds, potentially 1,000.
Telling me.
um and at that point, like, we had one person reacting, shout out MDG, but like it wasn't what it was. So I think we all took the turn together at the right moment of when we started building the community to what it is now. And then obviously there's other things, like, I'll say, like, like Dizzyeight and Contrast making their one song, Crazy AMV, even though Contrast had already been doing his AMV style off on his own, but him introducing that made it so, all right, there has to be a step up in quality for AMVs, because you can't just put the lyrics at the bottom no more next to the other person, because then you'll see the quality difference. Everyone got to get their mixes up, people buying new gear and stuff, like there's a whole bunch of little things, but
Right.
So it was. So you said like there was a kind of in the beginning like this kind of status quo where you would just kind of follow the formula, get the
we
bag
kind of
or
made,
what have you. And
yeah,
then
we kind of
you got to that point where it was you had enough success with that where it was sustainable, and you decided to just take the leap and be like, look, we artists, we just gonna make music. We got to the point doing all of that. Now we can do what we want to do on our own, and that was kind of like the turning point, like for y'all to like just step everything up.
Yes, I can tell you, phone call with Fable, and he just straight up was like, "Yeah, dude, I think I'm gonna say fuck it, and I'm gonna just do what I want to do now, and we're just gonna do." And I think that was like the call where I was like, "Okay, so we're doing it now. We're just gonna say, all right, whatever the views are let them be, and hopefully whatever little down tick we get from it, it just starts going back up from there." And I mean, it did. So
Yeah,
I definitely have a question, because like I wasn't involved in those conversations. So like for me, like I came in doing music. So like I didn't have the decline. I came in and immediately got an incline doing regular music. So like when did you guys make the decision? Because when I came in, definitely it felt like you guys were still doing more so like anime. Like it was more so about anime as opposed to about making the actual song. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but
I'm trying to say, I'm like you came in at an odd time, because you were still just like, I don't know, the feature dude at that point. But it kind of happened very shortly after you entered, to be honest. But like, obviously, we still had like the ciphers. We were still, like going super heavy on that and stuff like that. So oh, actually, you know what? Another turning point. I forgot. This is very pivotal too. Schwabity going in on Daddy Fat Snaps' song. Because
the Dio one?
Was it Dio? I don't remember which one it was. I can't.
No, it's Frieza.
No, it was either Frieza, or I think it might have been the Avatar song, actually. And that made him go, okay, I need to make like a pivot. And that's kind of where we were like, all right, yeah, so yeah, Avatar rap 2 years ago. Yeah, no, yeah. So going from the Avatar rap to the Gone rap are two are two completely like different things. Like he took the leap from that point. Obviously, it was still a little bit more on the nose, because we're still trying to make songs about like anime characters and stuff. Like we still weren't as like
we're
abstract.
slowly moving from on the nose to like thematics.
Yes. So Yeah, no. So you still probably heard some of it, Dizzy, and was like, "Oh, it's still kind of like about the character."
Son, because I came in, I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, I'm not doing nerdcore like that. I had made it a point that like, because like I did regular music first. So for me, like my biggest thing was not sacrificing the integrity of my music to do it. And so when I came in, I think that also played a part in why my growth was so big at that time, because I came in being just
you came right in on that
different.
transition wave.
Yeah, like I came in being different than everybody, and I feel like, because for me, like I'm not sure of the timeline, but I know for me when I came in, I didn't know about Loop, I didn't know about Otaku Underworld, so like
They
for
weren't
me,
there yet.
yeah. So for me, I was the black guy. I was the really black guy in nerdcore that made super hard, low key gangster music. So like
I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
like,
No,
cause
like you were still singing, my nigga. You,
but listen, like I was singing, but like, bro, like nobody was doing like gun bars like that until, like, at least from my knowledge. I could be wrong, but just from my perspective, from my remembrance, nobody was really doing gun bars, and I started doing it. And then I saw Otaku World come up, and I saw Loop come up, and then I saw a shift in the bigger guys, and I was like, okay, so like that's dope. For me, I thought it was an evolution, but I never placed it like there was a separation for me. Like they had you guys, and then they had people like I remember like Shizzy, Shofu, Peso, people like that. And for me, that was a split. Like it was an energy that wasn't in the community that we have now.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
No, you're right. They used to hate us.
Yeah.
They hate me.
Came in
I was fine.
All that transition too. That was like when I was learning about nerdcore. It was like right in the middle of that transition.
Yeah, no, I feel like that was like just in the moments of how it was kind of, like moving. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. If we kind of kept inside like our little corny corner for a little bit, man, I don't know, man. The fucking views were crazy.
Yeah.
Like again, like man, it's so crazy to think that like we see people like Fable has this insane growth. He's getting all these like insane numbers, and we're looking at this, but like it's really weird to think that like it's actually technically like lower points than he was. Like whenever he was making Fortnite songs, Fable's clearing 10 million views and stuff. And like we could have kind of continued doing that. Like the first thing he ever did big on YouTube was Pokemon Go raps, and all of those things had millions of views constantly and stuff. And again, like that's why I said we ended up deciding to make a pivot of, okay, are we gonna just say F it and and just go and make
sometimes you play the game
normal song.
You can be a pretty good player like that, and sometimes you change the game and you're a legend.
Yeah, and I think that we also did it at the perfect time too, because the streaming era kind of came into effect more so. And yeah, our songs now are definitely more replayable.
Yeah, seeing y'all on editorial lists automatically it puts a smile on my face.
Yes, sir.
Kuro muted, so I'm guessing I don't know if he's still there.
I'd say
Driving.
So like they touched on an evolutionary point in nerdcore that I was thinking about too, but a more recent one I feel like that happened was just like all the link ups. People doing live shows now at the cons, and then people in nerdcore actually linking up and meeting in person and like hanging out and kind of like adding that element to the mix now. Like I feel like that's been a game changer.
Bet, for real. And like you can see it, like the cauldron of this multitude of people, these artists and all their different styles just like coalescing, and when you link up, like shit starts brewing, and like it becomes something else and just keeps elevating and compounding on top of that when them link up happen.
Right.
You see it like ever since like for me, from what I saw from like MomoCon, it just seems like things have just been up and up and up and up since then. Like it's just
Yeah, MomoCon was like a game changer because it allowed everyone from Underworld and everyone from Loop to kind of meet for the first time and uh, put aside differences and just like have a good time for the weekend. I got to meet Dizzy and Gameboy and Kuro, and it's
Boo.
like there's that new element now. Yeah, I hate that I met Gameboy Jones, but he was just with Dizzy. I just wanted to meet Dizzy.
Oh.
You feel me?
He do be saying facts. He did say that in the car ride. He was saying fuck Game Boy.
Boo.
Look.
no way.
But
But
it added just like a new element to it now. Like so now whenever we talk online, it's like it's more personable now because it's like I met you in person. I know a little more about your personal life. It's not just like you make dope music, I make dope music. Like I kind of like care for your well being now and shit. And like it's all because you get to meet and you hang out and you see what that person is like for real, and not just making music with them. So that's like an evolutionary point too. And I hope that continues to just happen more and more.
Big facts, big facts. I'm trying
Yes.
to get y'all down here in Florida, man. We got the big one, MegaCon. I
Hey
want to work on that
man.
behind the scenes, see if I can.
I
y'all need a rep
do
down
got a
here.
side of
I want
Florida
to make
for
it
my
happen.
homie Peso too. I do got it. Florida needs to be a spot. I do need to see
Kuro's
Ivan.
just looking for
I'm
a way
looking for
to
the next
extend
meetup.
this fucking
I
world
need to
tour.
leave
Like,
New York.
Listen, Callon. I mean, you talked to ADK. I know he in Orlando, right? I mean,
yeah, I mean,
he might be able to
Aesop
tell
in
you about
Florida.
I drive the Orange County Convention Center, MegaCon. It's a big deal. It actually had not this past year, but I think the year before. Like it had more numbers than MomoCon, as far as like people in attendance. So it's a big thing. So
Better not
gotta
let him
I
see
would
you
love
at
it.
MomoCon.
selfishness. Yeah, it
I'd
had a
love
little
to see
more than
that shit.
MomoCon.
I'd love to see it even more.
The thing
More
is,
show. I would like to see the cons start to adapt more live performance and make it more of their priority.
Exactly.
it's the way of just the evolution of the media of conventions. It's all about interactive experiences, and one of the greatest unifying interactive experiences that you can have is music. And at conventions for anime, video games, comics, and just the size and the width and the breadth of the community, it's the natural. I truly believe, and I see that will be the natural evolution. It's going to be more meetups because once that dam has fallen, that wall's been cracked. Like, Callan, if I don't see you in a calendar year, it's up for you. Like, I'm pulling up, I'm snatching Bardock. Like, it's a problem.
Not Bardock.
No,
Nah.
that's my dog. That's my
Oh,
dog.
he catching
My
strays. Nah,
my
but you're
sweet
right
little
though.
boy
It's
Bardock.
that I think you're right, and that's part of like the evolution is the vector of anime, comics, what have you, the pop culture shit. Like the vector is something universal that everybody can get behind and get pulled into. Like, oh, you love this, I love this. Like, we different backgrounds, different styles or whatever, but we love this. So that's gonna give people like just greater leeway to look into what you're doing, look into the scene more, and just build
The
the
way
community even more and stronger. So like I think you're right speaking on conventions and things of that nature in that sense as far as helping the evolution.
Because the way I look at it in simplest terms, you have the dominating world's like music genre right now, like hip hop, rap, R&B, pop, like that's what dominates the airwaves internationally. And then you have
Yes.
the
Now,
most lucrative media, film, comics, anime, like that's what people are watching now. Like Spawn's getting an adaptation, Blade's getting moved. Like it's all the stuff that we've already been on.
exactly.
And we just getting nastier. That's all it is. It's just getting that sound to reach as wide of an audience and reach as high as a quality as we can get it. That's all it is. It's those two avenues.
I agree, and it's only up from here. So now, having covered all that, let's get into really now that we've covered the past and kind of the turning points and stuff. I want to try and answer the question about the current state of nerdcore. Is like what is it? What is this modern nerdcore? You know, so if y'all can like just do your best, give me your thoughts on like how would you kind of define it? Like if somebody don't know what it was and you was just introducing it to them for the first time, like based on your
Honestly,
personal
I,
reflections,
I,
and any of those prime examples, like
I feel like
what
that's
would
a
you say
really
is
hard question
I
because
would.
it is? It's a little
because
loaded question.
yeah, because there's so many different sounds. Everyone's different, and I'm of the mind of thinking that like nerdcore, like for me, I don't see a difference between nerdcore and mainstream music other than I like it more. But like, well, depend. No, some of it, some people. But no offense to anybody that. Well, I ain't
You
saying
know,
names.
to each their
But
own.
but 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 like
What did you mean by that? No.
like
Just kidding.
but but like I feel like we're getting like we're getting put into like editorial playlists with other people that do different types of music, but it blends together. So like I feel like it's really hard to say what nerdcore is. It's really
So
just artists, in my opinion.
All right, I have an answer
I
for
would
this.
like to. I would like
Oh,
to. I would like to piggyback off that because I was gonna say the exact same thing. At this point, the way I would introduce nerdcore is, yo, you want to hear some dope music that's inspired by some of your favorite movies? That's it. Like that. That's my one line header. Like inspire. Just because the thing is, at this point, if you strip all the referentials away for some of the artists, it's still just dope music. Even if you don't understand, like I just show my friends, like, yo, just Pete, my boy Count, he dropped this track called Fake News. And they're
My
like, yo,
favorite.
this shit a bop, right? And so it's really getting to the point now where nerdcore just covers such a breadth and it's just so just now sonic and just music and just can be without the quote unquote source material. I really would just introduce it as music. The only thing that makes nerdcore is just the subject matter. At that.
all right.
Right.
I want
So
to
it's
say
Yeah.
kind of like I'm saying it's like once upon a time it was like heavy with the references and that was like the big part of it. It was like a like straight up like vodka or something like out the glass. Whereas now it's an element, it's sprinkled in, kind of like you go and you get some kind of mixed drink. You know, it's still there, but the proportions is way different. You just only need kind of just a little bit of that sprinkled in there, and it's really more about the whole product and mostly just the fact that it's good music.
yes. Like the way that I introduce nerdcore, I mean I'll still tell people like I make music on YouTube, yada yada, blah blah blah, shit like that. But if someone wants to know what is nerdcore, I would say nerdcore isn't exactly a sound. It is kind of what like Kuro said. It is music that is heavily inspired by pop culture media. And if you like certain things in pop culture media, you will potentially like this song. Like, okay, cool, man. You really liked, I don't know, the Black Panther movie. Hey, here goes a song that was inspired by the Black Panther movie. Like that's what it was. Like it's kind of leaning in it's kind of leaning into that world and things like that. Like obviously, we tend to use more bars or things closer to that world while we talk about stuff like that.
Right, but
But yeah,
inspired by is the key. Like inspired is the key word.
exactly. Because the thing is, uh, so I think the reason why a lot of people can get down with what we do is that there's plenty of people in the world who who can't or don't want to even um get with like the I don't know I don't know like a flexing lifestyle, a like anything that a mainstream rapper image would be. uh so then here comes us where we go, oh, you don't really like that kind of stuff, or like let's say here goes like a street story and that doesn't resonate with anybody, right? Let's go ahead and take any sort of anime character, video game, whatever, and then apply that to it. I think it kind of gives someone an avenue to explore that in, because they go, "Oh, I understand that media. I liked that thing, and now I can kind of fully be in that world
Yeah.
with
So
music."
again, going back to that, the vector of the medium is what everybody can get behind and get drawn into and use it to
Hmm.
understand. and expound upon.
Yes. As in where, just any random street story, they go, I don't know about that. Oh shoot, man. Oh man, I actually was alone and I was on a swing. That's Naruto. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, like, to say like saying it through that like lens, it just kind of works.
I think that's a great summation. Callon, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I think nerdcore music is like really on the verge and the cusp of people not even being able to tell whether or not it's even a nerdcore song. I do it myself. I know that Delta does it. A lot of artists do it. Peso does it, but it's like you may not even hear a reference or like anything directly from the anime in the song, but it just has that like vibe and that feeling. Like the person obviously had that anime in mind when they was making the song, so it's like it's relatable on both sides because it's like when you got the visual with it, you like, oh, I know that this is a whatever show song, but you play it to somebody random, and it's like unless you stated it otherwise, they would never even know it was like a nerdcore song, and I think that's kind of like where we're at of what I'm seeing.
And I love it. It's a unifier genre.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now I want to ask y'all. Now we kind of seeing what it is. What y'all think is going to be? What is your visions, your predictions? Of what the future of
NerdCore takes over the world. Thank you. Have a good one.
No, 100%. I feel like a lot of people that are at the forefront of nerdcore right now are going to be at the forefront of music in the future. That's just my opinion. I feel like even if we look at like, I recently was watching like how mainstream artists are selling right now, bro. Like artists are selling like trash right now, bro. Like
trash.
I mean like people with millions and millions of followers selling like 20-30K first week. That's terrible. Like so like
bad.
Yeah. And it's because there needs to be a shift in sound. I think this era of music is shifting. And I feel like right now, currently, I feel like we have one of the biggest communities of online of just music communities. Yes. So like, if anything, like I feel like it's akin to the SoundCloud era a little bit. And what's going to happen? One of us in this community is going to take off. Like, I mean, like mainstream Billboard level, and it's going to open the door for the rest of us to do it as well.
So I agree and I disagree with what you're saying. So inside of my head, I don't think we're going to be the forefront of music. I think that music is going to a point where there is going to be no forefront of music. Music is just going to end up being a thing that becomes equalized across the board, because we're getting to the point where radio and TV and stuff like that doesn't influence who's just on top and who gets to play the game and not play the game. The internet has now become the great equalizer. So therefore, I feel like instead of there being titans that we see now, I feel like we're going to see a lot more people who sit around, I don't know, like a Denzel Curry area, where you're famous, you get a lot of plays, you make a lot of money, but you're not like a god in mainstream media, because again it's becoming harder and harder to just sway the masses anymore, because like there's a lot of people who go, oh yeah, you know what, like this person's getting promoted a lot on TV. Like people don't watch TV. Like shoot, man, you know, like you might have to do all of your promotion on Twitter. That might be where your people are and stuff. You know, like there's just so many avenues and lanes to go in that I think that people are going to just have to figure that whole portion out. I think that we're all going to become, you know, like, I mean, like, shoot, man, just look at people like because like CG5, JT Music, and stuff like that. Like, they both are already over 1 million monthly listeners. Like the Living Tombstone. Like
there's
what more
famous people that won't ever get that much.
Yeah, who won't even remotely reach that. And the thing is, they're not talked about in the mainstream media, but they don't have to be. They're successful and they make a lot of money and
And that speaks to
what it's
the
about.
community and how the vector unifies everybody, like we were saying earlier. Because even though the the numbers might be comparably smaller, like you were saying, it's like the density of it. It's like more potent and concentrated. The people that are there and in 100%, each and every one of them.
Nah, I fuck with this community for that reason. This community solid.
Very.
For real. I love it.
I agree.
But no, I agree. I agree with what he was saying, and just to add to that, like, yeah, there's people that are famous and like have way more press, but it's like they're not doing as many views and they don't have as many subscribers as some people I see in nerdcore, and like, so you know, it's just a matter of perspective on which one you think is more successful, and you know, some of these nerdcore people might have more money because. It's like you don't know how the way that the media and the labels and everything, how they're dressing these people versus what they're paying them, versus a nerdcore artist who's doing the same amount of views independently, pocketing it all themselves. So it's like it's all a matter of perspective for real, and yeah, that's just crazy.
Yeah,
that's really something that's super enticing to me about nerdcore as well, just from like a business standpoint. And how it's gone this long without being extorted yet by like major media.
I want to say, I actually will say one thing I did. So I've had. So again, I'm not sure if y'all know, I'm a very social person. But
no way, no way.
He's lying.
How you pay for wallflower all the way?
Shy Boy Jones.
I've talked to a lot of people who work in music, who like find other artists. I've talked to a lot of artists who don't do what we do and stuff. And same thing with Cam Steady. And I think in his like words, there's so many artists who would give their left nut to be in the position that we're in currently. And whenever I just say artist, I'm not talking about any Joe Schmo who hasn't gotten off of the ground. We're talking about artists who have like 500K plus monthly listener artists who are like, the position you're in is insane, and I wish that I was in your position instead of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's crazy. Because again, like with someone, I'm only like barely over 100K, and I have people between 500K to $1 million who go, I would rather be in your spot than mine.
Mm-hmm,
so, exactly.
That 100K coming in strong.
Yeah, because they're just like, again, like clout is a hell of a thing. Yeah, I want to say it's a hell of a drug, but it also can make things not what they seem as well.
Blurry, yeah.
Because I always tell people I would rather have 100K monthly listeners who listen to my songs 20 times than have 500K monthly listeners who listen to my song once.
That's math that adds
exactly.
up for me.
Exactly. And that's just part about the community being just so solid. Like, honestly, just the support and everything from this community is crazy. And the way that they'll come together too. Like, community that came together and helped me out before, so.
And yeah, they definitely all in. And the way, I mean, you can see like they, like unprompted, they'll just be promoting y'all to everyone. And it's because, I mean, you can feel that genuine sense of community that y'all ain't gotta, I mean, you do, you put it out there, but you know that they got your back. They're gonna listen, they're gonna promo, they're gonna do all that work for you because
GYB,
like, they love it.
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is that having met so many people in nerdcore that I truly do like appreciate as like clan and fam, the people of nerdcore are either absolutely 100 or you can tell when they bullshit. And having that level of clarity in a community is so interesting and novel in my eyes.
They're evil.
We always plotting though. We always plotting.
I was actually talking to Diggs about this the other day. Me and him was
Diggs.
talking,
That's
and you know, shout out my man. You know what I mean? Fuck him. I'm just kidding. But no, I was talking to Diggs, and it's just like, you know, you don't expect that. You know, all of us range in different ages or whatever, but no matter what age you are, like in your 20s, you don't expect that you're gonna end up meeting like some of your best friends on fucking Twitter, all for the love of anime. But like I done met some people that like are family to me now for real. Like, you know, the homie Slick, like we didn't spend multiple months together just like crashing in each other's cribs and shit. And it's just like to have that level of like homieism just through like Twitter and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just powerful and that's cool. And that shows me how powerful this music and this community and everything can be. And like Kuro, if I messaged Kuro and was like, yo, like I need you to pull up to Kentucky tonight. Like I need you. This is like real. Like he would be there. Right now. He would literally be there. And I know that. And that's crazy.
Y'all get me misty over here.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Evolution of NerdCore, man. It's the evolution of family and community, and I think that's what was going to ensure that we got a spot.
For the future state of NerdCore, though, one thing that I've been holding on to that I wasn't gonna say, but then I got into all that shit. I would just like to see the future of NerdCore just evolve into like more live shows. Like I would love to see NerdCore artists being in positions to be able to tour and rake in road money on the level of like major label artists, and you know, do that independently the same way they are with the streams. You know, you already see Cam Steady and Gameboy and them throwing shows. You know, we threw a Underworld show. I would love to see the cons make the anime rap artists a priority like they do the, you know, voice actors, and just the music be more of a drive to the cons like some of their other events. That way the artists become more of their priority, and like it would just be a beautiful thing to see nerdcore artists touring all year long all over the country, going to cons, packing out their own venues. Like that shit would just be nuts. So that's where I hope to see the future state of nerdcore.
Bet, and that's what I'm trying to do, and really part of why I started my account, started this server to kind of be that hub and to kind of like promote from like all levels of fans or artists, and just continue to like spread it and grow it. And because I'm not an artist myself, I got a lot of shit going on at home that I got to take care of. But what I can do is I got a phone, I got a laptop.
Hey,
I could do my best to promote
we
y'all
appreciate
and
you.
grow the scene. Well, I appreciate
we
y'all.
need more. We need more of you. More people that are dedicated. Like you have been dedicated as fuck, so I appreciate it.
You humble me, my guy. I'm humble. But yeah, so then MegaCon 2023, I'm gonna petition for y'all then.
Yeah, please, like, yeah, absolutely. And it all starts with that too. Like people hitting the cons up and requesting artists. Like that just lets them know the demand for it. Like,
all right, let's make it happen then. Well, fellas, we here. We at about an hour. We got lots of great perspective, I think, on where the scene was, where it is, and where it's going. And I appreciate y'all for it. Y'all, I don't know if any of y'all got any time constraints or anything. If y'all got any time to field a couple questions, maybe.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm chilling.
I got a few more minutes before I got to skeet in the daddle.
I'm about to dub. I got COVID and high key like the last maybe like 15 minutes.
Yo.
It started kicking me. It started kicking me.
I told you, bro.
Bro. But I don't remember the last 15 minutes of this conversation, bro.
No. I told you, take it easy. Go to bed.
Well, my pace is amplified. If you gotta go rest up, go rest up.
Yeah.
All right, so let me bring. Maybe we'll
right,
bring my mods up real quick.
Love you guys,
ask the question, and then we'll see where we at. But if you gotta bounce, Dizzy, go ahead. I appreciate you. Thank you for your insights.
Peace, brother.
All right, my guy.
Yeah, peace out, bro.
Fuck that guy.
Exactly.
Loving community, everyone.
We don't really need
Damn.
Dizzy because Peso's giving us so much insight right now.
Yeah, I was
Yo,
gonna say,
Peso
like,
been cooking like
we may
crazy.
never know. Like, he started to give the speech of a lifetime. I could feel it, and then he just did. You will never know.
He said, "I'm the newest, and that's all you need to know."
3 words. I'm the newest. Peso barred out.
Anybody heard from him? Yeah, or...
I'm sure he's fine.
The handle on him. He alright.
Yeah, he'll be
Hey, we got. I see somebody with a question. I don't know how to call on him though.
Hold on, let me get him up. Oh, what the hell did I do?
You broke the system.
The rabbit ate another one of Peso headphones.
I swear, Cherry be the op
Oh,
sometimes.
no.
Cherry be the op sometimes. Hey, somebody get GPS on the horn. We have a code Cherry. Code Cherry.
Man.
I got.
Oh shit.
Got Nez. Let me get Nez up here.
Damn.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, he muted. Did everyone mute for a second? Just me and Gameboy Jones all alone.
I'm scared.
Hello.
What up, dog? What's up, fam?
Boo.
I had to try to bar real quick.
Wow, Game Boy, that's crazy.
Did you say you had to write a bar real quick?
That is exactly what I just said.
Nah, get out of here, bro.
What happened?
I think I actually watched it all go down. Like, I really had to write a bar.
And Haz is like, imagine writing bar, simpleton.
Imagine speaking.
Haz gave more insight than Peso tonight. How do we feel, gang?
No, Peso's fire.
I'm always down for insight from Haz.
Nah. Haz is the NerdCore Rockstar of the Year.
Someone has a question. Has a fucking question, please.
Right.
Yeah. Hit us with the question.
Isn't that what Illusion's here for? Question.
Yo.
Yeah, I was just saying how you guys are doing today, and hello Neo, this is the first time me talking to you. What's up?
What's up, dog?
Any questions, any commentary?
Yeah, I guess my question would be what's your guys' favorite memory so far from the time that you guys joined to like now with the community of NerdCore? Like what's your favorite memory that you guys are very fond of having?
Oh god.
Oh,
they're
easy,
all meetups.
Easy.
All the meetup?
The picture of me, Haz, and me are fucking dying.
You're welcome. You are welcome.
Favorite fucking picture.
You are so welcome.
I wasn't lying when I said that's an album cover.
That's hilarious. I didn't go to that party. I was like back at the hotel or something when that happened.
Yeah,
that fun,
no, that was crazy. I gotta take photo creds for that because that picture was just too legendary.
Yeah, it was crazy. MomCon was amazing. I miss you guys.
But yeah, I definitely gotta say, yeah, just the link ups. MomoCon was legendary for its own reasons, but San Japan was like, that shit was something crazy. That was like special.
It was ascended.
That shit. Yeah, I'll never forget about that. That was probably because it was a week long and MomoCon was only like 3 days.
Yeah, that's fair.
MomoCon felt like 3 seconds. I swear to God, bro.
It did. It felt so quick. Like it went by so quick. I miss you guys so much.
But yeah, those are the best memories. Because yeah, you just when you're in person, that vibe is just different. When the Henny bottle can be passed.
You're hilarious.
Yo. When Gameboy Jones comes in with the trench coat.
When Smoke Dog pulls up.
Yeah, when Smoke Dog pulls up, it's like, bro, there's just nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? When the meat's on the grill.
You're hilarious. You're hilarious.
I hate him.
when you 20 deep in some B&B singing, I wanna rock with you, baby.
Oh yeah, exactly, bro.
No,
like,
karaoke though. The karaoke.
Yeah. This looks like a death for me.
Oh my god, there's so many. I want to say all of mine are like all of the meetups. It's
100%.
Yeah.
it's all 3 NPCs because every single time, because like the first time we did an NPC in air quotes, like there was no show. We just met each other. So like
Oh,
so
okay.
so like I think the only person I got in here is Nim. like so again, like the 15 of us met up and that was it. And then obviously we did our little show after that. And then we did, our show after that, which was
Hey,
great because we had the community behind us and stuff, and we're just gonna keep
Yeah.
making it bigger and bigger. So I love watching it grow and grow and grow and grow. And then obviously I love MomoCon because I met 3 million people during that one.
you remember when Babytron came to your show at MomoCon?
The strays, they fly.
Kitty boys.
I love that.
And the bums on.
Let me see. I
Yeah,
think I
but
got somebody
no,
else with a question on here too.
yeah, what's up?
I see Sev the raccoon got their hand up.
Yeah,
That's
And
back
Pharaoh.
in.
Been waiting
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
the homie.
Let me bring up Pharaoh.
The dude.
No, this looks like a job for me. So everybody.
no, that's just
Just
funny. I
follow
only
me.
wish
Just
I was
follow
there to
me.
sing every word.
Just follow me at
Yo, what
twitter.com/@hazewalking. Thank you.
up, Callon
Go, go ahead, Pharaoh.
What's up, dog?
Yo.
You.
Hello.
The goat.
It's the boy.
It's the boysies.
I was just gonna ask, what do y'all think about like the general visual side of nerdcore? Obviously, I'm gonna ask that, and how you think editors may, level it up in the future, and also your thoughts on them like branching out, outside of the edits and stuff.
I am personally loving the current era of visual graphics that we're in, because I know you're probably asking specifically for the videos, but I'm also just gonna branch out to include like thumbnails, cover arts as well, just like the visuals.
No, I meant I meant the whole thing. Yeah.
The,
Oh, okay, you
the
did. Oh, okay,
branding.
bet. The hockey was already there. All right, so I really love it because there's such a diversity in styles, especially from the video aspect. Like when you go to editors, because of just how the styles have evolved, and especially we were talking earlier about when Disney and Khan dropped Sharingan, and that really switched up how
Yeah.
this is done from the
Yeah.
traditional subtitles. I really love the fact that now everyone has that unique fingerprint or that stamp to how they edit. So when you go to somebody, like when I came to you for the Willa D track, I was like, oh, I know I'm about to get some crazy songs. And just I love the fact that everyone has their own stylistic uniqueness, and I love that editors are starting to branch out. I know some have started to do art. I know that some have started to do music. Some have started to produce, and I love that because if you could be a rap producer, or some people are completely like solitary, like Diamonds does all his visuals, his rap, and like he sends mix sums and stuff like that. But if rappers can do that by proxy, I love seeing editors and artists branch out and touch as many types of art that they're interested in as well.
Right.
Let's go. Also, we
Yeah.
got an editor in here. Let's go. Yeah, but no, I like that everyone's doing something unique. Like, we still have people who still are doing, hey, here goes the video, here goes some bottom text. Okay, here goes editors who go super crazy, and all of them have their own unique style stamp, whatever that they do.
Right.
And so and then like even then, like like we still have people who are doing some music videos whenever time and resources allow them. And then like even me, like I like again like full music videos, I'm kind of like man, but whatever. But I like that I get to just go, all right, cool, let me go ahead and just set up my camera real quick. I'm gonna record myself doing some stuff, and then I get to like weave it in to some of my like videos and stuff.
I think that aspect is specifically interesting, especially given, I wouldn't say controversy, but I would say discourse, brought upon, faces, IRL stuff versus, AMVs and stuff. And I always like appreciate people like Kuro and stuff who, in their reactions, will respect it regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's about the music.
Right.
Like that's what is important.
Nah, it's about the breakdown. It's always been about the breakdown.
It's about the reaction.
But
You gotta profess.
But like, yeah, no, I was like, I don't care. I mean, shoot, man, I know plenty of artists, like ridiculously successful artists who go, yeah. So here goes this album art. Take care.
Yeah, literally.
They used to be HazTik.
I was like, what? I mean, like, yes. But, I mean, like, even like ridiculously, like, oh, I do stuff and I move in the mainstream type people and stuff who just go, yeah, no, I just drop album art majority of the time. Here goes, all right, here goes my 24 track album. Here goes one music video. All right, the rest, yeah, bye.
Right.
I'm good.
I think NerdCore is actually very unique in the sense that we really got music videos for like everything.
Every video.
Normal. That's not normal.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, I like the consistency and just like the amount of content that goes out in the NerdCore. But I remember the whole arc of the Dizzy contrast A&V dropping and kind of switching the whole style. So it's like Pharaoh, your style, and like a couple others that are doing it that like kinetic lyric video style with motion manga panels and shit. Like that shit's crazy. Like that's the current like wave, but I think I would like to see it eventually evolve more into like a mixture of like live video and
I'm with that.
and AMV mixed together, and then it's like, who knows, we might be in the fucking metaverse shooting anime music videos soon. Like this shit can just get wild, you know what I'm saying? Like the budgets would have to be insane, but it's not too far-fetched to believe like every week there's a fully animated video where like Gameboy Jones or Callon B or whoever is the character in the anime, like, or in the animation, I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's really endless how it could evolve.
Right. I do like the idea of like weaving in, live footage with that. I'm pretty sure from what I remember, Nikta is the first one to do that with DPS's Dabi. I think that's the first time I saw it.
I mean, there's a few. I'm working on one right now, and I know that like Chris has done it before. I know there's people that have done it before, but like it's not kind of a standard right now.
Right.
Like it's not widely done.
I'm gonna jump in right quick because we got I know time moving on. I got like 2 more questions. We gonna field those and then we gonna probably close it out. If that's all right with y'all.
Bet. Yeah, man,
right.
I'm down.
Bring up Seb. Seb, I seen you. I'm gonna bring you up. Go ahead and get your question in.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, dog?
So I know at least Dizzy and Kuro are gonna be on the Bleach train because it's coming back.
Bro, I'm Ichigo. You know what time it is.
Yeah, it is. Ichigo's back in red. Back in red. No, he doesn't wear red.
Back in black.
Back in black, yeah. The real question was, how did you guys like find your voice? Like how did you guys find what made you you?
Ooh.
Oh, that's loaded.
We robbed other people's flows and took what we like when we robbed the next man.
I just edit in it.
Has whatever flow that I ghostwrite for him.
Yeah, exactly. So flows, eventually all your really bad interpretations of stolen flows are going to become unique sounds that only you can make.
He's actually spitting, to be honest.
You take what you like from everyone, you know what I mean? I'm obviously influenced by Juice WRLD, and when I started doing the auto-tune, you could hear it more heavily. But now there's like, there's a HazTik voice. But I really just stole Juice WRLD shit.
Yeah, I get it. Like especially with Bankai.
You feel me? That's it.
Yeah, oh, see, hey. You didn't even know he was getting the HazTik toss tonight.
I just kept rapping.
Bonus has. Or we gonna
And
have
then-
has on here as a
NerdCore,
main
I'm on it.
primary guest one day.
I would say what
will.
Haz says is very true. You know, everybody has their inspirations that they draw from, and you kind of build your own style based off that, whether you realize you do or not. And other than that, man, just like not being afraid, like to just really experiment and rap in voices that are outside of your normal like talking voice,
What's the question?
like your rap voice. The question is just like, how did you like create and develop your style? Like, how did you develop your rap voice? And I was just saying, like, not being afraid to experiment and like try rapping your verses in voices that you wouldn't normally talk in or rap in, and sometimes that shit might hit.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that helped me find my voice was freestyling a lot, because getting out of my way and just trying to just flow on a beat, I would hit random pockets or hit flows that like I wouldn't think to do, and then I did them, and then I look at my homie would be like, all right, that actually was kind of nice. I'm like, I'm gonna remember that, but not fully because that was a freestyle. And then just you gain more tools in your arsenal, and I'm still gaining tools, and that plus what Has said are how I've kind of developed my voice.
Yeah, and I saw some of that like firsthand because I've been tuning into the streams. I've heard some of the freestyles, of course.
Appreciate that.
Hey,
Seb the homie. Seb be showing love.
Can't be late to class.
I still literally
Yeah.
don't have
That was a good one,
a
man.
sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, experiment. I want to say again, if you listen to my music, you probably see that I've done quite a few
Auto
styles.
Tune Jones, Aggressive Jones, Smooth
Funk
Jones,
But
Yeah.
boy Jones.
I want to say
Rage
Sim
Boy
Jones.
I like
Pimp Boy.
I like experimenting a lot.
That's the key,
you do
though.
be
It's
No,
just
for
not
sure.
being afraid to
Alright.
experiment.
I'm gonna go ahead and bring up Black Fox.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. What's going
my
on?
guy.
What's going on, gentlemen? How's it going?
What's up, dog?
So,
How y'all been tonight?
Man,
Vibing.
I'm hanging out with beautiful people.
Yeah, that's all
I'm
that
up
matters.
today. We don't talk about it.
All right, I'm gonna ask my question. I wasn't expecting to get chosen, but I know y'all were talking about it earlier, but like, how would you say like people who are doing reactions have had an effect so far on the NerdCore scene, in your opinion?
wait, say that again.
This is a fun question.
People who do reactions to all your stuff. How would you feel like, people like, of course, Professor Kuro and other individuals who basically do reactions to your stuff? How do you feel like they've had an effect so far on NerdCore during this time?
I would say the people who reacted are actually somewhat of the biggest contributor to us having a community. I like, because the thing is, obviously you can go on Twitter and you can add us, you can comment under some stuff, yada yada. But people who are reacting to our music, it gave people somewhat hubs to just sit there and comment and be like, oh yes, look, this person also feels this way about it, like, and I feel like people inside of like comment sections can kind of go, oh snap, like look around and be like, oh, there's other people who like this thing, and they're just seeing it, which I think would like ultimately kind of cultivated us having a community in general.
Respect that.
I love the reactors.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, bet. Look, the reactors, godly, because the reactors, people don't understand that that's also a form of content that's evolved over time.
Damn,
right?
my man
So-
just took the words out
Let
my
me-
mouth.
So I think to Game Boy's point about us having a community, especially with the way our community is, or it's changing now, obviously, especially because of these meetups. But we have these we're a little more anonymous than the average artist when it comes to that. like showing ourselves, being outside, like putting promotional material, like posting our faces all the time. So I think there's a level of humanity that's lost between the viewer and the artist. But with reactors, they're showing their face and they're the vector through which that humanity was somewhat like maintained. You know what I mean? Like, because if your man's like something, it's more likely you won't like it. You know what I mean? If your man's don't like you, might be a little ashamed to say you fuck with that, right? And for a time, reactions were viewed as, like what Kuro does, where it's like it's really breakdown heavy, and sometimes that's not what you want from a reaction. Sometimes people just going for a vibe, and we've seen people like that come up, like Malachi, I think of, who's just I go to him for the vibes. You feel me? I like the energy because that's how I feel making the song or listening to the song. And then you got people who I feel like are the everyday man, like they connect with that community, which is like Red Moon. You know what I mean? Crow got the breakdown. There's these different
That's
avenues
fact.
and ways, the different ways people relate to music. We're getting reactors who appeal to that. So there's such a
The
huge part of this
genres of
community.
reaction.
You feel
As you
me?
the best bonus I could have asked for tonight. I definitely got to get you in one of these symposiums in the future, a different one as a main.
Just to kind of like has basically kind of stole what I was gonna
Still in
say,
everything.
but just like a side note to add to that, it's also just like content for us to post for ourselves. It's like small reactors may not feel like they have much of an impact, but it's like they do, because I can take that reaction, make a little screen recording, and then I can post it myself, and then it's like you get like the Me Too syndrome. It's like you share that and people are like, oh, this reactor liked it. They don't care how many views it had. They just see them reacting to it and they're like, oh shit, well I'm gonna check the video out now. So it's like it's a form of content for us to repost as well, just to help promote the song. And that always just helps me out trying to figure out a post for like every day. You feel me?
I respect that.
Reactors
I
on point.
really respect that.
Black Fox, that was a great question, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. No, you already know. You can.
All right. Drowsy, if you in there, I wanted to go ahead and bring you up.
Hey.
Yo.
This Drowsy,
What's up, dog?
Basically one of my mods, him and Diablo, have been like instrumental in helping me get this off the ground and moving. So I just want a special shout out right now. Him and Diablo. Diablo. She
Diablo and Drowsy.
She's working right now. She's listening, so she can't hop on.
There we go.
Shout out
Now,
Diablo.
she play with June. She's not lying to me.
Drowsy, you got a question, my guy?
Yeah, I do. But before I get to that question, there she is.
She's sleeping. Thank you very much.
Hey.
See, you gotta talk shit to summon her. That's what it is. I know the text.
Before I get to the question, I did just want to mention, back on the topic of the turning points. For me, outsider looking in, just a consumer of content, NPC was kind of a major turning point for me. I'm predominantly on the metal side of things. I'm a metalhead at heart, and on our side of things, a live performance makes or breaks an artist. You can be fantastic in the studio, but if you don't have stage presence, it kind of detracts away from some of your viewership. And everybody at NPC absolutely killed it. And I'm not a con goer. A lot of conventions you get kind of the weird crowd. So I think things like MomoCon kind of deter some of us, but NPC being a more intimate setting was definitely major.
I would agree with it.
As far as my question, we kind of touched on it a bit, but if you were to say there was one specific thing, one defining characteristic of the community as a whole, not just the artists but the fans included, what is it that sets NerdCore apart?
Community.
Yeah.
Just like a real community.
Like actual, like literal, like communitas, like
active. Yeah, like you said, active community that's truly like engaged.
Because like real talk,
you could feel the people in the community there.
like I've been rapping almost my whole life, and before I went full-fledged into nerdcore, obviously, like we've all had our local scene and this and that, and I'm sure more times than not, a lot of us will say that our local scene probably did not fuck with us.
Facts.
Maybe. Okay, so
Did not fuck with me.
you know, recently somebody stole from my mother and stole like a couple grand of money from her. I posted that shit on Twitter, and in a day and a half the community raised like $2,000, and I cashed that shit out and gave it to my mom. Like, that's just wild. Like, you won't find that. Like, my local community didn't even pull up for that, and Twitter did. A bunch of strangers, and like some of my homies that I met just from linking up at the cons and through the timeline, like, you just don't find that shit elsewhere. So it's like, for that reason alone, I'm a ride for NerdCore. Like,
Amelia.
For sure.
For Mama B, we got her.
Yeah, you know, Mama B, like, brought some tears to her eyes. You feel me?
Ain't gonna lie, me too a little bit.
I will
So
say
it's like
I
that
did really
alone
like
sets it
seeing that.
apart. Yeah,
I'll
like
say,
that. I
yeah.
honestly
no, that was
didn't
beautiful.
expect it.
I'm
I
like,
did not
damn,
expect
really
it.
did
Like, I
that.
was hoping to just maybe get a couple $100s, but like the fact that I got a couple thousand, and like out of everybody that's in this call, like I have considerably like a lower following, so it's just like the fact that that still happened was just crazy.
And hopefully, you know, because I know sometimes the internet make people think, because Schwabity messaged me some funny joke he had he was going to put on the timeline, but he was like, people going to think I'm dead ass serious, and you and me know we joking. It really is that community. Like, we all like really fuck with each other. Like, you might see something on the timeline that seem kind of like iffy, right? But you got to understand, behind the scenes, it's really like that. You know what I mean? It's really like that. Like, I really slide for Game Boy and for Callon and Peso. And I ain't even meet Peso yet.
Gotta link a cousin Peso with fucking
Peso
Peso.
hasn't even met Peso yet.
I just ain't gonna slide for Kuro because he in Brooklyn.
He's like, that's type deep. He said Brooklyn type far.
The planet. All right. Diablo, I don't know if you're able to or not. If you wanted to ask a question, I know you out there, but
Yeah, is this the last one? I see no more hands.
Close it out.
Yeah.
And if not, we're gonna close it out. And what y'all want, if y'all want to continue the conversation after we're done here on the stage, I opened up a channel that I'll open up after I have these symposium, or the symposium afterthoughts. So y'all can pile in there if you want to continue the conversation. I'll leave it open for like a day. Artists, if y'all want to do that, you're welcome to do that too. If you need to bounce, you can bounce. If you need to head over to the green room for a minute before you bounce, y'all can do that too. I'll leave that open for a minute. It looks like Diablo probably can't because she on the grind. So.
Can I give a quick closing remark before I have to skedaddle?
Yeah.
My closing remark is a call to action. Because I think one thing that nerdcore fans don't fully realize is exactly how powerful they are. And I think from the conversations that were had and the stories that were told today, we're very aware of it. And I would like to just take the second just implore all the fans, all the supporters to always explore new artists, show the support. And when you guys go to cons, when you're at these events, when you have these moments where you can plug nerdcore, and you don't always have to do it, but when you get that random survey after, Comic-Con that says, oh, what's something you'd love to see? Throw up the name Gameboy Jones. It don't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something that we can do as much as we can, and we can punch through as many walls as we can, because we're going to get there. Mark my words. We going to get there. But the speed at which we get there is coming from y'all. And because you'll see in a reaction I dropped later this week, I have a whole spaz out because somebody said they didn't know somebody in the community. And I was like, nah, there's just no way. So I'm just letting y'all know this your homework now, or you fail.
The professor has spoken. He has
That's it.
professed. Y'all got the assignment. Carry it out. I can't think of anything better to end it on than that, really.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Panel members, moderators, appreciate y'all.
Sure thing.
Hey, I just want to say I love everybody involved, everybody that listened. Thank you for having us out. I hope that you can continue this. This is dope.
Oh, for sure. I have more planned in the future. I got one we were talking about reactors and things. I got that in the back of my mind. Got some people in mind for that and other things, and then just things that come up in the community organically. We might go ahead and open up symposiums for that too, as needed. But for sure, I'm gonna keep it going. This was great. I really enjoyed it. I think we got a lot of insight, a lot of perspective, a lot of hope for the future of the scene.
Yeah, dope stuff. All right.
Okay, once again, appreciate y'all. If you want, you can hop into the Afterthoughts channel, or you can just be out. I'll leave that in the green room open for a little bit.
About to record.
So we can start heading out, y'all. Appreciate y'all again. Everybody on the panel, everybody in the audience. Thank you mucho.
Hey.
Peace out.
Callon, mix my fucking music.